going on, everybody? Don Martelli back with the PR Bunker podcast, here today to talk about how effed up 2020 has been from a professional standpoint, generally in the PR industry, and what we can expect for 2021, which should be a hell of a ride, so tune in. So where to begin? 2020 has been probably one of the most disruptive years professionally most of us have had. Millions of people out of work, the media space disrupted between the pandemic and the election and all that mess. And as a PR practitioner, it's been extremely difficult to try to move our clients' brands forwards because of those issues. First topic here is really about just the disruption in media. If you think about the media coverage recently, everything leads with coronavirus. The vaccination, people who have passed away from it, its global spread, the numbers every single day. It's just an onslaught of numbers and information and background on what's going on with coronavirus, which is just horrendous and just really heavy at times. So as a PR practitioner, how the hell do you get media coverage for your client when you have news that has nothing to do with coronavirus? Well, you got to find a way to sneak it in there, obviously. Find a way to connect your client story to the coronavirus if you can. But oftentimes you can't. It just doesn't make any sense, and it's really not related. So what the hell do you do? Well, at Belfort Group, we talk about what we call the BG newsroom, which is brands becoming their own media entities. You don't have to rely on the media to get your message out, right? You have social media, you have your website, you have podcasts and videocasts, all forms of digital media to get your shit out to the right types of audiences to move your business. Well, we've been working diligently with our clients to do just that. We launched a series of podcasts this year, videocasts. We've done a lot of this on our own from an agency perspective. I launched this podcast because of what's going on in 2020. And it takes discipline. It takes editorial planning. It takes targeting. It takes understanding your audiences and what's going to get them to listen or tune in or like or comment. And what I tell our clients in real estate and or on the B2B side, you have to take a page out of what consumer brands have done for years, which is take advantage of digital media and use your audiences as media channels to influence other people to buy, inquire about your services, your products, and do so on a regular basis, and use data to inform your content strategy and use that cyclical process over and over and over and over and over again to drive the business. And media, traditional media, is just one slice of that whole media entity, but you've got to find a way to be your own media and push stuff out through your channels on a regular basis. And it takes, like I said before, discipline, editorial planning, and just a tenacity to become the Globe, become the Times, become the Journal, and put out good content that people want to engage with and comment with, and create that ping pong effect between your brand and your audiences. The other thing I think is relevant for this 2020 conversation is just finding opportunities, new business opportunities, career opportunities, and it's been just a slodge over the course of the year to find new business opportunities, and it's really come down to good networking and staying connected to our contacts, and being diligent in that process. We've done it through tons of webinars and chats and so on and so forth. And the great thing is that people will take meetings at any given time because of the fact that we're all, for the most part, working remotely, and jumping on a quick Zoom happens. But there is this Zoom fatigue. So I find that you have to be able to provide some value in those conversations. Make them quick, make them actionable, connect people to others, and just be there as a resource when you can't be there physically. Doing so in a regular basis has really proven to be valuable for us at the Belfort Group, really connecting with people and just finding ways to just be in their queue regularly, whether it be liking content on their LinkedIn channel or messaging them or just being present. It takes a full-time job to do things like this, but it's well worth the time because that's what it takes these days to get that new business opportunity. From a career opportunity, we've been hiring some folks from time to time over the last quarter or so, and to find good candidates, you don't have to go far because there's a lot of people out of work. The one thing that I have noticed that has really worked out is people that are out there finding an opportunity, that are pushing out content that's relevant to the job that they want, and finding a way to talk about their areas of expertise so they don't just become a piece of paper in a resume pile, but they're really out there driving their own thought leadership. So when and if you are connected with somebody that you might want to engage with and potentially hire, you now have a body of work you can look at and see how they think and see how they write and see how they produce content, because ultimately in the PR business, it's still about the story. You want those people that can tell good stories. The last thing I got for you today is about 2021 predictions and expectations. And here you go. It's a hot, hot take. I have no fucking clue what's going to happen in 2021. Isn't that fresh? Ultimately, trying to figure out what's happening in your business and what's going to happen generally in your industry over the next 6 to 12 months, especially in PR marketing, is just so difficult to understand. The one thing that will be consistent is the fact that the media will continue to be focused on the coronavirus and everything that sort of spills out of that, the vaccination, success stories, failures and the like. And outside of that, obviously the presidential transition will be a huge, huge topic. That's all to say that, continuing to be your own media entity is going to be more important next year than it is this year, which it was the year previous, and so on and so forth, which is really hard to understand and really believe. But using your channels in the right way, telling your story, connecting with audience is going to be just even more critical now than it was before, because the media news hole is just microscopic these days. So it's really super difficult to get coverage. So my advice to you all that are in sort of PR marketing jobs, tell good stories, tell them often, make them targeted, don't waste people's time. Use visual media when you can, and do it in a way that is transparent, engaging, and gets people to to embrace your brand. Thank you all for joining me today on the PR Bunker podcast, and frankly for tuning in throughout this course of this year. It's been a wonderful ride. Looking forward to elevating this platform in 2021. Love to hear from you, donmartelli@gmail.com, just to understand what topics you'd like to hear me talk about, or guests I'd like to have on, things of that nature. But absolutely going to continue this platform moving forward. You can find me on the socials at Big ID, and you can also get more information on this podcast at theprbunker.com and donmartelli.com. See you.